So our executive director, Harold Augenbraum, announced last spring that he is going to step down next spring. Right, exactly. Harold's been doing this for more than 10 years, and he has made a real difference in the world. Just a few things that have happened. I just jotted down a few of them on the way down here today. So since he arrived, Book Up, you saw the video, 535 awards, National Book Awards on campus. These are programs that were launched. Moving to this venue, people remember the old venue, wasn't so great. Adding the long list, adding the after party, announcing the finalists on national television and national radio, live streaming the event, which is happening tonight. There are really countless ways in which Harold has made a difference. So we owe him a great deal. And of course, we decided we have to give him a gift tonight. Now, we spent some time trying to figure out what the right gift would be. Morgan and I spent time on it. Where's Morgan? Over here. Yeah, so we came up with a good idea. And the idea was signed first editions of the two books that the judges voted to be the best works of fiction ever to win a National Book Award for fiction. So those two books were, when we did this a few years ago, Morgan and Harold helped organize this, were The Complete Stories by Flannery O'Connor, which won the award in 1972, and Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison, which won the award in 1953. Amazing, right? So it turns out that getting a signed first edition by Flannery O'Connor is really hard. I was talking to Morgan about it, right? I was saying, can't find this. Turns out it's actually impossible because the book was published in 1971 and she passed away in 1964. So we did get a first edition, but not signed. We did get a signed first edition of Invisible Man. And it's inscribed to someone, and I tried to look into it today to see if I could learn more about it, and I was really struck by the inscription, so I'm going to read you something about the inscription here. This is what it says. It says, this copy was inscribed by Mr. Ellison to a woman named Helen Williams, who is quite likely the same Helen Williams who is credited with being the first dark-skinned African-American model to be featured in mainstream advertising campaigns. Ms. Williams left the United States to escape discrimination to work in France, where she found success modeling for prominent designers such as Christian Dior. She later returned to the United States and was a successful model here for many years. So the edition we have for Harold is signed, personally inscribed by Ralph Ellison, is written to Helen Williams. And just knowing Harold as I do and knowing his values, I thought that would make this even more meaningful as a gift. So I'd like to ask Harold to step up, come up here on stage and give him these gifts. Please join me in recognizing Harold.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please sit down because Lynn wants to move things forward, you know. Thank you, David, and thank you to everybody here. I have not spoken at the National Book Awards since my first year when I talked about what my literary values were. I do want to clear one thing up before I go, and it comes from the frequently asked questions section of the National Book Award. A literarian is a person who dedicates his or her life to the study or enjoyment of literature. It's a 19th century word that went out of fashion until it was revived by the National Book Awards 10 years ago to start the Literarian Award. I consider myself a literarian in the old style and in the new style because dedicating myself to literature has been one of the great pleasures of my life. And I do want to thank the board of the National Book Foundation for giving me the opportunity to work with you. And I want to thank the staff of the National Book Foundation because none of the things that we have done in the past 10 years would have been possible without their creativity and with their imagination and without their energy. And so really they deserve a lot of the credit for anything that's happened. And the last thing I would like to say is I would like to thank everybody here in the book industry and out there, wherever anybody's watching, because when you're a book person, there really is only one thing you can do, and that's work live a life of books. And you really don't want to do anything else. And the fact that I've been able to do that for the past 12 years has been one of the great pleasures of my life, and I thank you very much for giving me that opportunity.